The first time my sister joked about me being adopted, I was 8 and still believed jokes were accidents. By 34, I understood they were decisions. The restaurant was dim and expensive, the kind of place where the lighting smooths out sharp edges. My sister had chosen it to celebrate her promotion. A long table stretched across the private room, already crowded with relatives and half-empty wine glasses when I arrived. I slipped into the only open seat. She looked up, paused, then smiled too brightly. "Oh, Rachel. Actually, can you find another table? This one's for family, not adopted girls." It was delivered lightly, playful, designed to be defended as humor. The laughter came easily. Not cruel, not loud, just compliant. My aunt covered her mouth. My cousin stared at his plate. No one interrupted. For a second, I felt that old split inside me hurt. If I left, I'd confirm their narrative. If I protested, I'd ruin the celebration. So I stayed. "I'm fine here," I said. Steady enough. My sister shrugged as if I'd missed the joke. The waiter arrived and the moment dissolved into menu choices and wine pairings. Conversation recovered quickly. It always does. Dinner unfolded in layers, expensive courses, long toasts, praise about ambition and loyalty. I listened, smiled when expected. I've learned how to exist in rooms that don't quite claim me. Near midnight, the waiter returned with the check. He placed the leather folder directly in front of me. A pause, subtle but shared. I opened it. 30270. Someone exhaled a laugh. "Well," my sister said, leaning back, "since you're here." Another voice chimed in, "Consider it your contribution." It wasn't about the money. It was about expectation. The unspoken agreement that I would absorb it, cost, discomfort, exclusion. Because that had always been my role. If I refused, I'd be petty. If I argued, I'd be dramatic. So I didn't. I took a slow sip of water, slid my card into the folder, and closed it. "I've got it," I said. Relief passed through the table, quiet and immediate. Conversation restarted before the receipt printed. The story, in their minds, had resolved exactly as planned. I signed without flourish. I thought that was the end of it. Then I heard a voice behind me. "Ems Bennett." It was formal, certain. I turned. The restaurant manager stood there, composed but apologetic. "I'm very sorry," he said, loud enough that the table had to stop talking. "There's been a billing error." My sister's smile sharpened, anticipating correction. The manager continued. "This event was prepaid through the Bennett Foundation under our scholarship partnership. The private room and dinner were covered in advance. We flagged the duplicate charge as soon as it processed." Silence settled over the table. He opened the folder slightly so I could see the highlighted invoice. "We would never charge you twice. And on behalf of our staff, thank you again for your continued support." It wasn't theatrical. It was procedural, clear, public. The word foundation seemed to echo longer than it should have. My aunt blinked. "You sponsor this place." I didn't look away from the manager. "It's fine. Thank you for catching it." He nodded and stepped back, leaving the room altered in a way that couldn't be laughed off. My sister cleared her throat. "You never mentioned any of that." "There wasn't a reason to," I said. The check, now voided, rested uselessly on the table. The performance they'd expected had quietly unraveled. No one reached for dessert menus when they arrived. I stood, smoothing my jacket. "I have an early morning." A few soft goodbyes followed. My sister didn't meet my eyes. Outside, the night air felt cooler than before, steadier. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt clarified. In the weeks after, the jokes stopped. Invitations became more careful. My sister called once, her tone unfamiliar, measured, almost cautious, asking about the foundation work. I sent her the website link and left it there. I didn't confront anyone. I didn't withdraw dramatically, but I adjusted things quietly. Paperwork, Boundaries, expectations. What stayed with me wasn't the insult. It was how quickly it lost power when the truth entered the room. How fragile dismissal becomes when reality stands beside you and says your name with respect. I didn't need revenge. I needed clarity. And that night, in the soft light of a restaurant built on appearances, I finally saw the difference between being tolerated and being known.